Modern study methods and their benefits. In today's world, education is everywhere and learning can happen somewhere or even nowhere in particular thanks to technology. Students no longer need to be only here in a classroom or there in a library to access knowledge. Information is just one click away, and learners can reach it even when they are far from traditional schools. Some people still prefer to go away from noisy places, while others study upstairs in their rooms or downstairs in a common area. Whether students choose to stay inside or go outside, modern study methods are flexible enough to support them. Knowledge can also come from above, such as online teachers, or from below, like discussion forums where peers share ideas. What matters is that education moves forward, not backward, and that learners can always keep their goals near, even if success feels far at the moment. Modern study methods did not appear long ago, but they have changed learning completely. Daily habits like reading notes, weekly schedules for assignments, monthly goals, and yearly exams are now supported by digital tools. A student can set reminders to study daily, review weekly, plan monthly, and evaluate yearly progress. In the past, people waited until the exam date was near, but today's learners prepare long before and avoid saying, "I should have studied years ago." Apps also send notifications to remind students to start soon, making sure they have enough time to prepare. Traditional study methods are still very important, but they are not always enough. Reading textbooks and writing notes are very useful, yet technology makes studying very effective. Students can now watch videos that explain difficult topics very clearly. They can also use online flashcards that are really helpful for memorizing vocabulary. A dictionary app can be very quick, and practice tests can be quite realistic. Sometimes traditional methods feel too slow, or they give too much information at once. This can be too heavy for students. That is why modern tools are so useful. They allow learners to study in a way that is so personalized. Digital learning is almost like having a private tutor. Even students who hardly have time can make progress. Certainty and possibility also play a role in learning. Students who follow modern methods will certainly improve their performance. They will probably feel more motivated because they see progress more quickly. Maybe they will even enjoy the process instead of only focusing on exams. With enough practice, learners will definitely remember more. Of course, not every student learns at the same speed, but technology offers many options. Obviously, modern tools cannot replace discipline, but fortunately, they can guide students step by step. Unfortunately, some learners still resist change and stick to old habits. Currently, education is experiencing a revolution. Lately, students have been trying online platforms instead of only using books. Recently, many schools have integrated blended learning into their systems. Finally, after years of debate, digital study is accepted as an official method. When students begin a study session, the first step might be reviewing notes. The next step is watching a video explanation. Then they might solve practice questions. Lastly, they check their mistakes with online feedback. This order helps them move forward without confusion. Another benefit of modern study methods is flexibility. Students can study together in online groups or work alone in silence. Group learning allows ideas to be shared freely and equally, while individual study gives complete focus. Learners also use apps that provide feedback fully and completely. Some platforms even explain topics entirely step by step. Students may also choose different approaches. Some use flashcards, others prefer watching lectures. If one method does not work, they can try another instead. Otherwise, they may lose motivation. Accordingly, learners must select methods that fit their style. Consequently, they become more confident. Therefore, choosing the right study method is essential. Besides learning content, students must also build life skills. Equally important are organization, time management, and focus. Learners should freely experiment with different methods to see what works best. They must also check their understanding fully before moving to new material. Sometimes, learners feel stressed, but technology helps them relax. For example, meditation apps guide students through breathing exercises so they can study more calmly. Modern methods, therefore, improve not only academic results, but also mental health. Time management is a central part of studying. Daily planners show what needs to be done today. Weekly planners give a bigger picture of tasks. Monthly schedules allow learners to track long-term projects, while yearly plans help with final goals. Students often face many challenges, but if they organize tasks step by step, they succeed. Some students still work late into the night, but others start early. Many continue until they feel tired, but if they stop and rest, they can still achieve great results. With the help of digital reminders, they rarely forget important tasks. Already, many students have seen improvements by simply following consistent routines. Some feel they are not ready yet, but with practice, they become confident. Others have just begun using new methods, and they already feel progress. Modern study also supports motivation. Students can set goals like reading once a day, reviewing a topic twice a week, or practicing hard subjects until they understand well. When they perform badly, feedback guides them to do better. Apps can track how quickly they answer questions and how slowly they read. They can also show whether a student works carefully or easily distracted. Learners may listen to podcasts loudly to focus or study quietly, depending on their needs. Study environments are also changing. Students can learn everywhere, in libraries, at home, in cafes, or even on buses. If they cannot find a quiet place somewhere, they can use noise-canceling headphones to create focus. Sometimes they feel they are nowhere productive, but with the right app, even 5 minutes here or there can help. Learners who travel far can still keep up with lessons. Those who live near universities can attend workshops easily. Whether upstairs in their room, downstairs in a study hall, or outside in the park, modern tools go with them. Another modern method is collaborative learning. Students connect online and study together even if they are far apart. They share tasks equally, discuss freely, and check answers completely. If someone does not contribute enough, others remind them politely. If one person studies alone, they may feel isolated, but group work gives motivation. Accordingly, students combine both approaches, sometimes together, sometimes alone. Modern study is not without challenges. Some learners depend too much on technology. Others spend too much time on social media instead of studying. Accordingly, self-control is necessary. Otherwise, distractions reduce focus. Fortunately, many apps now block notifications while students study. Unfortunately, not everyone uses these tools. Consequently, some students waste time. Therefore, discipline is still required even with modern methods. In conclusion, modern study methods offer many benefits. They allow students to study everywhere and anywhere, inside or outside, together or alone. They help learners move forward step by step, plan daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly, and manage time. Maybe the change feels uncomfortable at first, but they definitely gain more in the long term. Of course, modern study is not perfect, but obviously it is powerful. Fortunately, today's learners have opportunities that past generations never had. Unfortunately, not all students use them wisely. Currently, education continues to change, and lately, it has become more flexible than ever. Finally, modern study is not just about passing exams. It is about building skills for life.